This is Coach Lee with my exbackcoach.com, and I'm going to talk to you about what to do and what's going on when your ex is giving you mixed signals. Take a second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more content that's helpful to your situation. And that includes attraction, relationship dynamics, and breakups. Also click the notification bell below so that you can be notified when I have new videos the minute that they are posted. So a big complaint among people who are working to get their ex back, wanting to get their ex back, is that this person seems to move toward them and seems to show interest and then pulls away. And they become hot and cold and in and out and up and down. And you'll hear from them and then they back away. And it's this push-pull limbo land kind of thing, and it drives people crazy. It is extremely frustrating when you're trying to get back with your ex and they're doing this because you think that they're in and then you think that they're out, and you're trying to figure out what this means long term and what you should do, or if you should invest or hope or even try anymore. So I'm going to go over a few reasons why your ex is sending mixed signals and if they're doing it on purpose. Sometimes they are, and these people are trying to play games, they're trying to mess with you, they could even be narcissists. And if you think that they are definitely doing it on purpose, that it's a game, then you definitely need to pull away from them for your own good. And you probably don't need to be around that person anymore or try to date that person anymore. However, that's actually a rare circumstance. The word narcissism is thrown around a lot, and sure, there are narcissists out there, people who feel entitled to what other people have, or people who enjoy other people wanting to be with them and then not letting them be with them, using people's pain to manipulate them and manipulating them with other things, or feeling that they should decide everything and that they know everything. There's all kinds of traits that tip off a narcissist. And obviously, I'm not giving a definition of narcissism. I'm just describing some very general terms that you can recognize in a narcissist. But in this case, we're talking about the majority of cases where people are confused. Life can be confusing. We don't know what we want today, let alone tomorrow or a month from now. And that's true with your ex. It's very confusing for them, especially if they broke up with you thinking that they wanted to be away from you, that they didn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore, and then you applied some of the things that I suggest you do, or you got my emergency breakup kit, and now your ex is wanting you back. It's confusing for them because they recognize the inconsistency in their own behavior. And so knowing this from your end will be helpful as you decide how you're going to move forward and what you want to do. Know that in most cases, your ex is not playing games with you. Now, they could be here and there because we've all heard you need to be hard to get, you don't need to be too easy, and that kind of thing. And so sure, some of those things where they try to kind of hold themselves back a little bit, that's normal. That does not mean that they're trying to play games with you in general. It could just be that they're trying to do the right thing in order to get you back. Because as I've said in some of my other videos, a lot of times the person who does the dumping will contact me wanting their ex back, which I think is really ironic because my content is focused on people who have been dumped. And so I'll tell them, your role in this is pretty easy. You just reach out and you say, I was wrong, I want you back if you'll have me, could we talk? Something like that. It doesn't have to be complex or poetic. And a lot of times the idea of doing that terrifies them. And they'll say, what if he rejects me? Or what if she rejects me? Or what if he's mad because I broke up with him? And so your ex is not just going through an easy time here, and it's not as clear in terms of what they think they should do as you think it might be. Because to you, you might think that it's as simple as your ex sending you a message and saying, I want us to get back together. But in their mind, maybe they don't even know the words to say, and they don't know your reaction, and they don't know if that's what they really want and if they'll feel that way again, and they don't want to lead you on. They don't want to hurt you because they realize that they're being inconsistent. They know they wanted you before, then they didn't. And in some ways, they could even be thinking that they want to be responsible with how they treat you because they don't want to hurt you again by thinking right now they want you and then later changing their mind again. And so they're frustrated with themselves even. And so you can see where it's not as clear cut and black and white as we might think that it is sometimes. That being said, here's some reasons you might see mixed signals from your ex. Number one is that you are overly enthusiastic about getting back together. And what I mean by that is, if someone has broken up with you, while you do need to present to them that you are to large degree welcoming of them coming back, you need to also present some reservation that you are proceeding with caution. because this person did break up with you. They did possibly watch you hurt and walk away and leave you to your own pain, which they kind of have to do to protect themselves. And I'm not going to beat them up for that at the moment, because they did it out of honesty in that they did not see a future with you. And I know that hurts, and sometimes it sounds like they're the bad guy, but let's just focus on the fact that we're all humans, and that from day to day we can change and be frustrated with our own selves at times. And if you are too enthusiastic when they pitch the idea of getting back together or they begin moving towards you, it brings up something that I talk about a lot called the prize and the pursuer. And you want to be the prize. You don't want to be the pursuer. And so since both of you need to be the prize in order for the relationship to survive, because if it's imbalanced and one of you is the pursuer and the other's the prize, and that's how it always is, and that's a permanent dynamic in your relationship, it's difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult for that relationship to survive because one person feels like they are above the other and that they are the prize, and they want their own prize. So you need to be the prize, and you both need to be pursuing each other. Mutual pursuit, and that means you are also both the prize. So if that appears that you are too enthusiastic, then your ex begins to feel that they are the prize, and that even though they have broken up with you, that during the breakup, you just waited around on them, and that they can get you back anytime that they want to, because they're the prize, and you're the pursuer. And you will put up with mistreatment, you will put up with them breaking up with you and not have any concern that they might do it again, and that maybe you didn't even seek to go elsewhere and move on during the breakup. And a lot of this depends on the length of the breakup. But if you're too enthusiastic, it can make them take pause. They can pull back because it just seems a little bit artificial that you would be that enthusiastic. The best way, if they are really moving towards you, is to be open to the idea, but not to just celebrate it too much. So basically, if the other person said, I want to get back together with you, I made a mistake, you can say, I understand, I'm willing to try. Something like that, because you should have some degree of uncertainty just because they were unsure. And so you're not going to just jump back in with both feet. You're going to move forward cautiously and slowly because their feelings were unclear. And you don't want to get involved too quickly and then yank the rug out from underneath you. And it's because you're being protective of yourself and that kind of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Moving slowly is not a weakness. It's a strength because it takes discipline to do that. Anybody can just jump back in, but if you can control your emotions, it shows strength. It also makes them feel better about things because they feel that they kind of have to earn you back a little bit, that they kind of have to get on your good side again, that they have to prove themselves a little bit to you. And you want that. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more as we go forward. It could also be that you're over pursuing with texts or calls. For example, if they start reaching out to you and you two are talking again, and then you just start bombarding them with texts and calls, kind of like you're too enthusiastic, but also like you're back in the relationship 100% and you're beginning to over pursue again, which might have caused the relationship to have trouble in the first place because of that whole prize and pursuer thing that I've talked about. And so your ex will start to feel like the prize and you're the pursuer, and they'll also become a little bit tired of you because they've been away from you and then they start to come back towards you, and you just fill in that gap too quickly. And basically you put yourself in the position that you might have been in when the breakup happened and when your ex finally decided that they couldn't take anymore and they didn't see a future with you. So don't jump into that old habit if that was you. I know that if they come back towards you, you're excited and like point number one about being over enthusiastic, you just want to jump in and celebrate, but exercise caution, exercise discipline. Don't fall back into that habit of over pursuing. It should be pretty equal, kind of like a tennis game. They text you, you text them. Let them initiate sometimes and you initiate sometimes. And between you and me, you should let them be a step ahead. They should initiate a little bit more. They should text a little bit more. They should call more. That way you keep them moving towards you and you're not going to over pursue and go into intrusive emotional territory, especially immediately after a reuniting following a breakup. Another thing could be that they are with somebody else, that they're in a rebound relationship. And I do have some videos on rebound relationships that you can check out with the search feature or by going directly to my channel. And sometimes a rebound relationship can work in your favor. In fact, it often does if you are in no contact, you're not over pursuing, which if you're in no contact, you're certainly not. And there's many reasons why that can bust a rebound, get rid of the rebound as far as your ex not being interested in them anymore and your ex going back towards you. You can certainly watch those videos and I will link to them in the description below. But if your ex is in a rebound, then what can be happening is that they're curious about you and they don't want to lose you, but they also kind of enjoy what's going on with this other person. And so they kind of reach out to you just to see if they can pull you back in a little bit, and then they enjoy this other person. Or they're trying to choose between the two of you. And so they get a little taste of you and they go back and try the other person. Or they get close to the other person and it scares them away a little bit and they go back towards you. Or, as I'm going to go over in this next point, they just want to see if you're in backup plan mode. So they could be testing you, whether they have a rebound relationship or not. They could be testing you to see if you're going to stay there or if you're going to move on. Because a lot of times people break up, and as I've described in other videos, and they receive an artificial breakup experience. It's sort of like if I were in Vegas and I were gambling and you told me no matter how much I lost, you'd keep giving me that money. Well, I would never feel nervous if I bet thousands of dollars because I couldn't really lose it. You'd be paying it back. And so if they break up with you but feel like you're always there, which a lot of times when someone breaks up with someone, they feel they could easily get them back because they're the ones who dismissed you. Now later, as I mentioned earlier, that feeling can go away and then they wonder if they could get you back, which is actually kind of where we want them to be. But if they feel like that you might be drifting away from backup plan mode, like that it's possible you could move on, or they just want to preempt you from moving on, then they will reach out, kind of touch base with you, interact with you, maybe let you feel a little close to them, and then they'll pull away because they want to make sure you're in backup plan mode in case it doesn't work out with the rebound or in case they change their minds and want you back. It's nice to know that someone that they obviously have good memories with could be in backup plan mode. It's a better feeling. It's a feeling of stability, and that way they don't have to experience the loss of the breakup, which is what you felt when they broke up with you. That's why it hurts so bad, because you didn't have the control. You just had the loss. And so if your ex starts feeling a little bit of the loss, they could try to check and see if you're in backup plan mode so they can go back into that artificial breakup where they don't have to feel the loss because they know you're right there should they ever want you back. That's why it's so important to focus on the 2 points I mentioned earlier. You can't be too enthusiastic and you can't over pursue, because when they reach out and you do that, you are just confirming that you are in backup plan mode. And so you don't want to do those things. You want to proceed slowly. And I talk about that in my emergency breakup kit, about what happens when they want to reunite and they want to get back together, how you can make sure that you do get them back and not just temporarily. So it's very important that you know that your ex could give you mixed signals and possibly why. And the best thing that you can do, show your ex that it does not rattle you, that you're okay, you will let them come to you at their own pace, you will not over pursue, you will not be too enthusiastic or too fast to just jump back in with them, that you will let things happen naturally and organically. That's how you can respond correctly, that gives you the best odds of getting them back and keeps you in your most attractive state when your ex shows mixed signals. And it's important that you do that. It's also important that you are warm and playful and polite to your ex. You don't want to be cold and distant because you want them to know that the possibility exists that you will take them back and that they could consider getting back together with you and that you would consider getting back together with them. If you try to be too difficult, if you ignore them, if you're rude or cold to them, that's not attractive because they won't want to fight that uphill battle to get you back. It will be frustrating for them. They won't want to feel that rejection. They won't want to feel like an idiot because you ignore them. They're going to stop reaching out. And so you can't do that, but you also can't be overly enthusiastic. You need to be warm, polite, and as though it's not bothering you, that you're enjoying life, and that if they want to come back to you, that you'll let that happen at the pace that they're comfortable with, but you're not going to rush anything because you have other options too. And so if this doesn't work out, you're confident you'll find somebody else and that life will still be good for you. And so it's patience and it's discipline. And that's how you handle mixed signals from your ex. I've linked to my emergency breakup kit in the description below. It's exceptionally powerful to getting your ex back, to understanding what's going on and what you need to do to reattract your ex. You can also schedule a coaching call with me by visiting myexbackcoach.com, and we can put together a tailored plan to get your ex back. This has been Coach Lee with myexpatcoach.com. Thank you for watching.